There is like legit never a boring day in software development. There really just isn't. I don't know how else to say it. Look, we got to dive into this because Gadget Agent uses Google search, or at least used Google search as the search provider, right? There has, since time, there has been an API that you can call at cost. It's fine. And you can submit a search query and you can get search results. Yeah. And they're really nice. Like, it gives you the title of the page, a description, a little snippet, and the URL. And then your agent can, visit the URL, read the whole web page, get all the information, and, do research for you. So anyway, Google has decided that that's not going to be allowed anymore. It should really surprise no one, you know what I mean? Basically, let me embiggen what's on the side over here. So, Google is completely shutting down its raw web search APIs for developers. Google officially announced the total discontinuation of the custom search JSON API and the programmable search engine's broad web index effective January 1st, 2027. So technically, we have the remainder of this year. I could leave it in, but honestly, why would I do that? Because I'll just keep reading. After that date, right, Google will no longer offer a general purpose query in JSON links out API to scan the entire web. Because your robot operates as a pure data harvester, submitting a query, extracting the raw links, and parsing the pages independently, the conversational AI layers Google is pushing, like Vertex AI or Gemini Grounding, are completely useless to your architecture. So hear this out. What they want instead is for basically my robot to ask their robot a question, and their robot will just answer that. Yeah. Isn't that lovely? Like, no, you don't get to go, read the web anymore, talk to the robot, which is kind of crazy, but it's also their prerogative. It is. That's for them to do. That's fine. Why Google is doing this, all right? So, turns out that all the scraping that's been going on, that has ruined this for people that are using it the way we do, all right? So, anti-scraping strategy. Google is actively choking off raw programmatic access to its core index to protect its data from being used to train competing AI models. We're like, that's not what we're doing. We're not training a model. We're just letting, your agent execute search on your behalf, go get you answers that you want, and, work that out for you. Well, because people have been so badly abusing it in order to, distill or whatever and train their robots, Google actually has to just shut this off. So anyway, point 2 here, litigation. Google has pivoted heavily towards legal and technical enforcement, even filing lawsuits against prominent third-party search engine result page proxy providers like SERP API. So in other words, it will be futile and pointless to try to just, work through some proxy service like SERP API, and there are some others, that basically scrape Google and get you answers. Yeah, it's going to be pointless because Google's going to start going after them too, right? They want to shut all of this down. Like those pages you go to where you can search Google, but it privatizes your search, it anonymizes you away. Those are also going to be entirely shut down by this maneuver. It's just you're not going to be able to do that, right? That's in all honesty, that's basically what Gadget Agent actually does. It completely anonymizes your use of Google search. That's one of the main reasons it's of value, right? Yeah, you're not going to be able to do that anymore. We're literally not allowed. Thou shalt not. And if you do, you can expect Google to come after you with some lawyers. Again, it's fine. It's their prerogative to do this. It's their decision to make, right? Like, they don't want to enable technologies like Gadget Agent to exist to be able to execute web searches. They don't want programmer tools and stuff like that to be able to execute web searches, go find readmes and API documentation and all that good stuff. No, they don't want that. They instead want everyone using their stuff, right? Like, they have that data. So they just don't want to give it up anymore, right? Because when they do, even though they're charging me, right? Like, so, all right, listen, as a service provider, okay, I have to pay when I call Google search, right? It's not much, but I have to pay. And then, like, that's not good enough, right? Because they can't serve you ads. They can't. I'm paying for you to get the data. I'm not stealing the data. When we call the custom search engine, or the CSE as it's known, there is a cost for doing that. There's a bill. That's part of why Gadget just can't be free, right? Like, I do this the right way. I do this ethically, and they're basically saying, no, you can't anymore. We're not even going to let you do that anymore. Like, not getting the user actually visiting Google is apparently too high of a cost for Google now. So yeah, like, the most I would be allowed to do is talk to the robot. And that would not be the right kind of answer. It just really wouldn't, because, well, you know, again, in something like a coding agent or a deep research agent, it doesn't just want, like, you know, Gemini's hallucinated summary of some web page. It wants the web page. It's going there looking for its own information, right? And if I'm being blunt about it, like, it's smarter than Gemini. There's a reason I'm not using Gemini, right? Like, Gemini isn't the model that backs any of the stuff that you're seeing on my screen ever, because it's honestly retarded. I don't know how else to say it. All the thing does is hallucinate. Go ahead, use AI mode, which I am here on the left side at Google. Use AI mode and have it answer questions for you. Just look how often it's wrong. Like, Gemini is famous for being wrong. Anyway, they're turning off the ability to do real search, right? So they're giving you here the pure data in, data out alternatives, Brave search. We're going to have to migrate to Brave search, right? So you see that there will be a cost for that too. And that's fine. That's fine. This stuff should cost money. Brave is running an entire company in order to offer a search index, right? So, okay, we will pay the fee happily, yes. And if I'm being honest, I don't know why I didn't set it up on Brave in the first place. Like, I was aware that Brave existed. Actually, I'll tell you what it was. I'll tell you exactly what it was. It was just pure laziness, right? Like, I already had the Google path configured, whatever. Just plug that in and go. And you know, now look what I did, right? Look what I did. This is no good. It has expired. So yeah, no, I can't, even if I wanted to, I can't continue offering Google search as a tool in Gadget Agent. We might leave it in for a little bit, and I think what I'm going to do is create Brave search as a separate tool. And I don't know. Maybe we'll do some A/B comparisons. I can leave both active for a little while. I mean, obviously, Google search will be around until the end of the year, and whatever, use it. If I'm leaving it in there, use it. I don't care. But, you know, a fun thing to do with our remaining time might honestly be to write robots that compare the search results between Google and Brave. I mean, seriously, I have till the end of the year. And I don't know what I'll do with the API, you know, once we complete this migration. But basically, folks, unexpectedly, nobody died, but Google search has left the chat. Literally, I can't put the Google searches into the chat anymore. It's not allowed. It's just, it ain't working anymore. So, yeah, what we're going to have to do is, we're either going to have to talk to Google's robot, which is garbage. I'm just telling you up front, it's garbage. It's basically they want my robot to have to talk to their AI mode on your behalf, right? So like my robot will swear at this thing. It'll be like, why are you lying to me? Stop lying. It might be funny to implement it just to watch the exchanges. But the downside is it would still be like that comedy, that pure garbage comedy would be happening at cost, and I don't want that for you. You know what I mean? I just don't want that for you. Google is making horrific decision after horrific decision, and they're going to hand this world directly to Brave, and I don't think I could be happier about that, right? Like Brave's just been sort of sitting over there quietly doing what they do. There was like some weird when they were getting started, but it seems they've gotten over their weird and they've settled into this like, you know what, we're just going to chill and exist over here. We're going to let the world happen to itself, and then we'll be what's left. It's kind of the same strategy I'm taking anyway. Like there's nothing that I'm out here making happen other than, what's on my own domain. The product and the service that I'm building on my domain. That's what I have control over. The rest of this nonsense is exactly that. It's this simple. There will always be a search provider out there somewhere. It's too legitimate and too valuable of a business. It's absolutely necessary. And if Google is just going to duck, if they're just going to dip and sort of go do their own thing with their magic broken robot, great, cool, see ya. Fuck out of here. Everybody's been kind of hoping you would bow out anyway. Brave is well loved. So that's where we're headed. That's exactly where we're going to be headed. I'm going to be implementing that today, so you can expect that change. There's a lot coming in this next gadget update. But anyway, that's kind of where we're at. Google is murdering their search product. I'm not allowed to pay them for it anymore, so you can't have it. And we're going to migrate to Brave, and that'll be that. I mean, the web is still searchable. It always will be. I know a guy, even. Push comes to shove, I'm sure he's more than happy to scale his thing up. Actually, that's kind of a new tip, I guess. Riddle of steel. If you're watching this one, just saying, my guy, there is this opportunity opening up out here. It's getting interesting. So yeah, it just is what it is at this point. The world is getting weird. Speaking of which, this was unfun. Today, right? I wake up, I come over, I sit down, I log in on my computer, and it's all on one monitor. What the fuck happened here? Log in, do the thing, fire up open code, like what is wrong with my computer? So it goes through, checks the logs, and it's like, oh, by the way, there was like an unattended upgrade to the Linux 7 kernel while you were sleeping. So that kind of broke your GPU drivers and a bunch of other shit. In fact, MongoDB is refusing to start, and, well, your computer is fucked. So I spent like literally half the day letting a robot go through and fix all this back up. I'm on a 6 kernel and reverted a bunch of other things, and may or may not, depends on who's asking, may or may not have had my robot utterly delete, disable, and destroy everything that is capable of performing an unattended upgrade. This machine cannot do that anymore. It also does not automatically check for updates, and I briefly considered unplugging it from the internet because just... I really don't know what the hell is trying to happen out there right now, but people have got to stop breaking people's computers just for the fuck of it. Like, this has to stop. So until people remember how to behave, I have literally turned off every update, and I'm going to sit here on this build of this machine until the wheels fall off of this machine. And then I guess I'll figure out how to... Because, I have a NVIDIA GTX 1070, which is the Pascal architecture. Yeah, that got disabled. in the NVIDIA drivers. So I can't even use, like, I was using that for FIM and other small model stuff just to run locally on the... Yeah, you can't do that anymore. Fuck you. Same thing with the red box over my shoulder. That also has a GTX 1070 in it that got disabled by drivers. So now it's just a big bottomless pit of storage that I use for backing everything up in the studio. And it runs application servers and stuff like that. So there's that. Like, basically everything is completely and entirely falling apart on purpose, as if there's a bad decision contest out there and people are being given prizes for the worst decisions and the biggest breakages. And then there's supply chain vulnerabilities and everything else getting completely out of hand. Like I said when I started this video, there is never a dull day in software development. So this is the scope of what has to be considered in order to offer an online service in 2026. And you wonder why I'm using robots for help with that now. Cheers. Enjoy the scroll.